go.
We're live here from the Holler homestead with Nick Ferguson from Homegrown Liberty. Something I understand has been tagged as partially false information by Facebook. Is your name Nick?
No.
What's your name? What's your name?
Nicholas.
Nicholas.
That's the partially false information.
Nicholas.
That we're
His name is Nicholas. So Jenny just shared on Facebook, and it's tagged as partially false because I said Nick, not Nicholas. Hello, Lisa Davis. How are you? Lisa's on.
Hey, Lisa.
So Nick came through, and he's been doing a property walk all day today. How's the weather been for that?
Oh, just beautiful, sunshiny, not a drop of rain in sight. Hasn't been raining at all, not all day. No mud, nothing.
No mud at all.
Nope.
We did not get 2 inches of rain today so far, did we?
Nope.
You know what's really cool about having a permaculturist here when you have torrential downpours is they can see all the water problems. Yeah. Jenny, how was your day?
It was good.
Yeah. We haven't done a live stream in a while, guys. If you want to have questions, put them in all caps. If you're on Odyssey, I don't have a good way to see Odyssey and YouTube when we're streaming from the living room. So you might need to pop up ScrewTube and do all caps there, or text somebody who's on the YouTube feed and just let us know. You know who else is here? All the neighbors are here tonight. Come on in, Nighthawk. Say hi.
Hi.
Nighthawk's here. That's right. That's for your dad who usually joins in. You know who else is here? Tactical Finger. Come on up. It's the Tactical Finger. You're going to sit and let us see your beautiful face?
That's for Nick to sit there.
Well, you have to be close enough we can hear you.
Nobody wants to sit by me. That's the problem.
Mama Sauce, are you here?
I'm here.
I was leaving the seat for the ladies.
You can come sit. Look, it's Mama Sauce. She's in town. I guess the girls get the couch and the boys lurk in the background.
That's how that usually
Ain't that the
goes.
truth?
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth? Anyway, okay, so I thought it'd be fun. We haven't done a Holler Neighbor live stream in a while, and part of why we haven't is it was like, well, what do we talk about?
I have an idea.
Well, we fed the pigs today. That's not very interesting. And then, what's your idea?
Let's talk about Self-Reliance Festival.
You want to talk about self-reliance? I want to talk about what Nick did here today.
Oh, that's a better idea.
We had a really good time at Self-Reliance Festival. We all had bags. Are you tired?
Yeah.
We're all
I've
super
been
tired. Are you
all
tired?
I'm not
week.
tired.
She's
no.
not tired. Are you tired?
I'm tired.
Tactical, are you tired?
Yep.
Too bad we can't hear you because you're across the room. He's tired. But Nick came today to do a consult here, and I thought it might be fun to share with y'all what he did. Hey, Chris Spees, how's it going? 30-day reviews. You're supposed to tell people to like and hit the bell. That's your job, right? Oh, he already did.
Yeah.
See, hit that like. Thanks for doing that, Justin. Nick. So we started. Nick arrived yesterday to sleep over to be ready, and I let him know it was going to rain like crazy today. So yesterday he walked around the property before it rained, and then today he's been outside a lot looking at the property. What are the primary things we addressed?
Fencing, water flow, locations for fodder trees, kind of making sure that we're not painting you into a corner with maintenance and future development. So, picking appropriate locations for different design elements so that, if you decide to go a different way in the future, you're not going to find yourself unable to, or find yourself in a position where it becomes more expensive or more difficult to pivot and change direction. That's what, that's one of those things I always try and make sure that we're cognizant of, is that, we're not going to put something in a spot that's going to make it difficult for you to change direction. And because, sometimes life happens.
So you're saying it's not fun to move a barn?
No.
Not fun to move a barn. Oh, we've all seen the video of the Amish guys moving that barn. Have you seen that one? It's like 100 men lift it up
Yeah.
and move it.
That's-
We don't want to do that here.
I was-
It's also not flat. Not a good idea.
Yeah, there's a couple rocks you might trip on.
Hey, Dawn. Hey, Empty Knives. 2 more people joined us. Said hi. Feel free to say hi, guys. It's hard to see, though, if you don't go all caps. I'm just saying. Hello. Oh, this is his wife. Hey, Em. It's Patrick's wife, not Patrick.
I am.
Look. Oh, are these? Nope, those aren't.
I don't have the.
You know, I don't have my Holler earrings on, but I love those Holler earrings that y'all made me out of wood. Love them. We'll be wearing those at Rogue Food Conference. Okay, Nick, tell me this. When you drove up and you saw Taj Mahal, what did you think?
It was magnificent. It was glorious. Everyone knows it. It's great. It's good.
How much better than the pictures is it?
Oh, it seems a lot smaller in the pictures. It's gonna be fantastic for gatherings. There's a lot of room underneath it, and the light is the main thing.
Yeah, the light was key.
The
I did
light.
not. That's why I
It's
never
awesome.
built anything before this year there, and I was like, oh wait, clear roof panels.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, it looks a lot bigger in person than you see in the pictures. Justin's asking, did everyone from the Holler go to the Self-Reliance Festival?
Yeah.
Yep. We were all there. We hired somebody to come in and take care of the animals Saturday. Jenny did Sunday because she just day tripped it, but we all did it. It was kind of fun to be able to all get away.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Okay, so Nick came up and he saw Taj Mahal, and that was part of my impetus for having Nick here because Taj Mahal is in. We've pushed the hillside back. And he was here at the very beginning, kind of helping me come up with what am I going to do with this property? And then now he's here with what am I going to do now that the hills moved?
Yeah. That was really impressive.
Yeah.
Those are massive, massive stones.
Yeah.
You know, we've got somebody with a finger to attest to how large these stones are. Really, really cool. Really impressive.
Yep. And so he saw it, and what I want to do is have the hillside, as everybody who listens to the podcast know, I want to have it so I'm not ripping my hair out and making it look like this right now because there's so many weeds that are taller than I am. And we talked back and forth. There were some tough conversations today. One of the tough conversations was when Nick was like, why do you want aquaponics? Because you can just grow stuff better in the dirt, Nicole. You have really nice soil here. And I was like, but I hate weeds. One of the tough conversations was talking to Tactical about putting beds on the right side of the stairs instead of the left side of the stairs. What else? Tactical, what else was tough today? He's so communicative. He just said,
The rain.
Yeah, the rain.
I mean, the non-existent rain.
The non-existent rain that poured on us all day.
Yeah.
So if you come up to my house, off to the left is this new beautiful rock wall with a rock stairway going up made out of giant boulders from my yard. And we've pushed the hillside back. And when Nick saw that, and we were thinking of putting aquaponics off to the left, and then off to the right, it goes behind my house. And I was thinking perennials and flowers and herbs and stuff over there. And Nick said, what'd you say?
Well, we need to make sure that we're not making it difficult to maintain and making a weedy mess. You know, we want to make sure that we've got an easy access. We need to make sure that we're not restricting access so that if you need to get equipment in there of any kind, shape, or size, that we haven't made it so that you have to tear something out or go with a very labor-intensive option. Because we can always go labor-intensive, but if we design something from the outset that that's the only option, then that might be a whole heck of a lot worse than
Keep talking.
might be a whole heck of a lot worse than a rainy day.
Yeah. And so where did you think we should put the aquaponics?
Well, initially I was thinking, right next to. Oh, that's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. David, this could be yours.
Take it, David. Take it. It's not poison.
Don't drink it and
Drink
you'll be
it.
fine.
Drink it. We want to see what'll happen.
Okay, so back to the aquaponics.
Back to aquaponics.
Yeah.
So
How aquaponics can make Nicole's life easier on the hillside garden.
So we've kind of got two options. Really, it's just going to boil down to what makes you happiest.
Mm-hmm.
We have right at the very bottom of the rock structure to the left of the staircase going up, or we have directly to the right, which will be just like 2-3 steps up, and then we can fill that whole first terrace to the right with raised beds, and we can put down weed barrier fabric or stonework or whatever makes sense, and pretty much have a weed-free footpath area with your raised beds that'll get some good morning sun. And then right on the uphill side of that to the west, you can end up putting some pollarded trees that, if you need the extra shade in the afternoon, because they should be getting, I think it was looking like almost 6 hours of direct sunlight right there during the height of summer, and then closer to like 3.5, 4 hours during the darker period of late fallish.
And the raised beds are great for a couple of reasons. One, 70-year-old Nicole's really going to like her raised beds, so she doesn't have to bend over to tend the plants. And then having that area controlled, because it's a little further away from the house to where the weeds are not just coming up, is great. So then that makes it be somewhere I might want to actually go hang out in the morning. And yes, David is totally trolling you, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. And then to the left, we're talking about growing in the dirt. So what goes to the left of the stairways?
Yeah, so any of the annual and perennial production, if we keep it, things growing in the soil that we could always drive over top of without destroying equipment or the plants.
Like my much wanted dill patch.
Yep, a dill patch.
The dill patch that has not come to fruition in 14 years.
Right. Things like that. Mints. What were some of the other things that we're talking about? You can put your epizote there.
The epizote I plan to kill. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
Put it right up against some rocks, maybe.
Yeah, it might live. Rosemary could go there.
Yep.
I've killed a lot of, I've annually killed rosemary every year since I lived here.
I have.
That's 15 dead rosemaries.
Yeah, I've gone through about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I'm on the 8 months with the most recent rosemary plant, and it's not looking happy.
So David says he wants to be in the Holler Neighbor Police lineup, and you can come here anytime and do that. Open invitation, David. Justin says, I'm 37 and love my raised beds. Don't gotta be 90 to enjoy them. Don's asking if we should put thyme or, Empty Knife says, M from Patrick says thyme would grow well there. Jerusalem artichokes, question mark?
Thyme would be awesome, especially close to the rocks.
Yeah, because it'll drape over.
Yeah. That'll look really nice.
Yeah.
Jerusalem artichoke. Yeah, if you were to put it up against some of those larger rocks, especially if they have a flat face.
Yeah.
Then when they push up against it, they'll set their tubers right along the rock.
You know how tall they get though.
Yeah, that's true.
Mine got more than 10 feet tall this year.
Ooh.
They did really well.
Mine have never gotten that tall.
Yeah, you want some? I'll send them.
I have some.
Okay, you can
I
take
have some
of
really
my
cool
tall
ones. I have some really cool ones.
Oh, we could trade artichokes.
They're pink.
Oh, neat. I want pink Jerusalem artichokes.
Mhm.
Oh,
Everybody
fun.
should want pink Jerusalem artichokes.
See, this is what you do, guys. You get together with friends and you start trading things, and you end up with pink Jerusalem artichokes, and he ends up with 140-year Timmy tomato seeds. That seems like a good trade, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. That's how you do it. Hit that like button. If we got 16 people on, we should have at least 16 likes. Jerusalem artichokes are hard to kill. Possible to kill, but hard to kill.
I could probably kill it.
Yeah, I can kill mints.
I've killed Jerusalem artichoke.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
killed a Christmas cactus once, so
Yeah.
I could
That's
probably-
impressive.
Yeah.
I know.
So that's the hillside area. Tell them about the water feature that you guys figured out. See, Tactical's being all quiet.
Yeah, the water feature is still a little bit up in the air, though.
You could come do interpretive dance.
Oh, I'd love that.
Okay.
Have we fully figured out what y'all want to do with the water feature?
Well, so Nick found a rock he liked. Let's start there.
Oh yeah, there's a giant slab of rock with a hole at along one of the edges.
Yeah.
And it'd be perfect to set at just a little bit of an angle, and you could bring the feeder pipe up, elbow it, and then kind of rock around it, and it should look like you should be able to disguise it and make it look like water's just burbling out of a rock and then spilling over down into a basin. And then if that larger rock is sticking out far enough, you'll have a little bit of a cavity behind it, which will give that echoing that makes
Yeah.
the real that gurgle sound so amazing in your streams when the water's running really nice.
And why aren't we using aquaponics water for that?
Right. So, yeah, Nicole said, well, what can't we have both? The decorative thing.
Why not
and
both?
why not both, right? Well, the reason why not is if we're doing aquaponics, we need a heavier nutrient profile in the water column because the plants need more nitrogen, phosphates, potassium, so on and so forth. If they don't have enough nitrates, they die. And you know what likes nitrates and grows faster than plants? Algae.
Algae.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have enough nitrates for the plants and that water is flowing over top of a rock in the sunlight, then it's going to turn into a green, slimy sludge rock that's going to look gorgeous. So that's why not both.
Don't step on it either.
Yeah. It would
Yeah.
look like runoff from a cattle feedlot. It would look disgusting. So, and on top of that, the algae would suck up all the nitrates that the plants need and convert them into more algae faster than the plants can. So you would have sad plants.
We don't want sad plants in the aquaponics system.
No, or a slimy green waterfall. So really, for a water feature like that, yeah, for a water feature like that, we want a really lean, nutrient-free, water source. So you really kind of need something more like spring water or a system that is running some water hyacinth in it or duckweed in it that can suck up all the nutrients and keep it relatively clean. And then we just one little tiny pond pump can recirculate the water and give you a pretty water feature with the water noise. So you can walk up a couple steps and sit on one of those nice big rocks, drink your coffee, listen to the water, see all the butterflies and hummingbirds flitting around and honeybees. Oh, what did we?
Mossy rock honeybee.
Oh, what did I call your honeybees?
Oh, beaches.
Oh yeah, your beaches.
Yeah, my beaches.
Because they're not very friendly.
They're not friendly at all. Okay, Chris asks, hey Nick, is the mini round baler for the BCS that we spoke about manufactured by CAEB CABE, or does BCS manufacture their own version? The CABE version is 11,500 MSRP.
See? I looked at it a few years ago.
That's a very specific question, Chris.
Right. I looked at it a few years ago and it was over $9,000. So
Yeah.
it would not surprise me if that's the price now. No, it wouldn't surprise me in the least.
Yeah. Justin says water feature. Now we're talking my kind of thing. Will the water feature be ponded or pondless? Pondless is great for extra water capture.
Pondless. So I think it was mostly just going to be something like a sunken IBC tote, with some rocking around it, just to make it look like a basin, kind of disappear it. So yeah, I mean, it depends on what you call pondless. Couple 100 gallons, I think, is just about all we were talking about, right?
Yeah, not super huge.
Yeah.
You keep talking about me putting koi in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put some koi in there.
Okay.
You
Just
should.
a few pretty koi
Yeah.
and a lily pad.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And then, of course, water hyacinth, which I love, but I
Yep.
also kill that every year. It's looking pretty dead right now in mine. So,
Yeah.
Jenny, what do you think of all these plants?
Sounds like a lot.
Next
What's your time frame on it?
Next week.
week. Yeah, definitely next week.
Okay.
I plan to build a part of it at the spring workshop in April, but not all of it. And we'll see how far we get. But I wanted to start by getting the water stuff buried, and then we'll start building beds. Tactical, what's your timeline on it?
Depends on who you're paying to do it.
Right.
Decision has to be made first on exactly how you're setting it up so we can design it.
Okay. Well, we've got the basic framework. How do we go from there to exact?
You and me sitting out there with a cup of coffee.
He's insisting on this cup of coffee thing.
Mm-hmm.
What if it rains for the whole week and it's hard to sit out there with a cup of coffee? Do we have to go stand in the rain and mud with our cup of coffee?
Raincoat.
Is coffee required for the discussion?
For me, yes.
Coffee is required. Chris says that's crazy on the pricing. And then MT Knives says, M says, I need to come to the workshop. Yes, you do, M. You should totally come.
We'd love it.
If you bring all your kids, I'm totally putting them to work, though. Nick on tour. That's right. Nick is here doing some consults. So Nick was at the Self-Reliance Festival in Camden, Tennessee. If you want to know more about what happened, that's selfreliancefestival.com. We had it this past weekend. What'd you talk about, Nick?
I talked about fodder trees.
Right. I did a presentation on underground networking. What did you guys see there that was interesting?
I think everything was interesting.
Yeah.
There was something there for everybody.
Yeah.
I really liked the multiple hours on emergency medical
That was
and
awesome,
and tourniquets and stuff like that. I think that was great information.
What'd you see? A lot of cars.
A lot of cars.
What'd you see in addition to a lot of cars?
A lot more cars.
To start parking Nazi, the poor guy needs 2 assistants at the next one. There is drone footage that when I get my hands on it, or when John Willis, if he publishes it, shows his property from the top with all the cars parked in on Saturday. He said he'd never seen so many cars fit in that parking lot as he did that day. So he was impressed with your work.
I was out there. I was watching him when he took it up. I'm like, I want to see where it is. And he's like, wow, that's really good. And I'm sitting here going, there's a hole. There's a hole. There's a small hole.
You had them packed in there pretty good, man.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Anyway, the next one of those is June 11th. The early bird price is $35. It's in Camden, Tennessee again. It's always in Camden, Tennessee. For anybody, people keep asking me if it's going on the road, and I'm like, right now it's in Camden, Tennessee at the Special Operations Equipment Campus. So we'll be doing a whole nother round. There was blacksmithing. Did you see the
I
blacksmithing?
did see some of that. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was fun. Nick, which LGD stealth attacks per your presentation? Explain what they mean by that, because I saw that, but they don't know. So what's the best, your favorite characteristics in an LGD?
Okay, so again, this is really dog dependent, but in general,
Yeah.
in my experience and in other people's experiences who I've spoken with, who've kept multiple different breeds of livestock guardian dogs, in general, the Great Pyrenees, the big fluffy white ones that look like fluffy white bears,
Mm-hmm.
they like to have about 100-mile radius for their territory. being facetious, but I mean, they like to have a big,
Yeah.
broad range where they just kind of roam around and everything belongs to them. And then if they stay inside of their fence, if you can manage that, then when something comes up to the fence threatening their territory, then they just kind of stand there and bark at it and try and scare it off.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them are like that. Some of them will go and engage and attack whatever's threatening. But in general, they kind of just stand there and bark at it. And they will do that all night long. I don't like that. I don't like dogs barking all night long. I don't like hearing that. Anatolians, they're a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little bit sleeker looking. They look a little bit more predatory and they move a little bit more with a little bit more agility. And they seem to be more aggressive and go and, hammer a target and eliminate the threat, kill the bad guy critter, and deal with it. They'll still bark and stuff. I know some people will train their dogs to not bark at things. So they won't bark at the threat and they'll just kind of stand back and wait for, let's say, the fox to jump over the fence or slink right through the electric fence that's spaced 6 inches apart and just float on into the woods. And then all of a sudden, from 2 different directions before the fox can run away, bam, 2 of them hit the fox and there's fox bits flying everywhere. Personally, I would prefer a dog or a set of livestock guardian dogs that are going to do that with a fox, then scare it off, only for it to return next week when the dogs might not be paying as close of attention, and there goes 3 chickens. So
Or a lamb.
or a lamb
Yeah.
with coyotes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we get coyotes here.
I prefer the Anatolian Pyrenees mixes
Mm-hmm.
or Marima. Marimas tend to, again, in my experience, this isn't, tried and true, but
Right.
they tend to stick closer, tighter into your flock or your herd and stay kind of right in the middle of it. And then when the herd is running away from a threat, they'll go out and just bam, out of nowhere, laser straight into whatever critters chasing after your flock. So I like that about the Marima. So I don't know, maybe a Marima Anatolian cross or a cross kind of all 3. I know kind of an Anatolian Pyrenees mix crossed with a Marima. I know that's a great cross. So that's kind of what I've been going towards with the dog breed that I've been kind of working on for the past 8 years, mixed with a couple other things.
I see.
But yeah,
So
hope
you-
that answers the question.
Yeah, she says, Dawn says, thank you. She got that. M says she loves the mix,
Yep.
which totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That's what the best dog I've ever had has been, an Anatolian Great Pyrenees mix.
Mm-hmm. Not a CC lamp dog.
I'm sure Cece is great.
A lot of people have been asking about CC because they heard me talking about her on the podcast. She's doing a lot better. And after Self-Reliance Festival, her wound shrank a whole bunch. So we're getting closer. She is still walking around with a lampshade on her head right now. But she looks pretty good, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit less like Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah. A little bit less like Night of the Living Dead. So she'll be fine. She did not get the risk would have been early on an infection, and she missed that one. So she's doing great. Yep. I'm glad she's doing better too. Chris says I have a lot of maple trees. What about maple trees for fodder?
It depends on what you're feeding them to. There are some maple trees. I think red maple is a little bit more toxic for some critters. You really just kind of need to do some research and find out what you're dealing with, identify the maple. As long as it's not a predominant portion of their diet, it should be fine for a lot of different things. But again, you know, some critters have problems with maples. But for the most part, if you're feeding a broad diversity of a little bit of maple, a little bit of oak, a little bit of this and that, it's probably going to be just fine.
I've decided Freedom Media Corp, because there's is the next question, must be from Middle Tennessee, because what they're asking is, what do you do with box elders?
Box
Something I have a lot of here.
Right. From what I can tell, box elders are just fine to feed to most herbivores. They seem to like them just fine.
Yeah.
I can't find anything specific about toxicity issues. They don't seem to be referenced very much, so I can't guarantee that they're fantastic. But man, I say if
They're goat crack here. My goats
Right.
love those.
if you have it, work with what you have, and always just try for diversity. And
Yeah.
if you do that, very few people ever have problems. I know of people that have wild cherry trees that they feed to their goats, and no goats die.
Mm-hmm.
And wild cherry is toxic to goats.
Oh,
So I mean, and wilted white oak is toxic to goats. So you know, I think you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt, and you have to just kind of be moderate in these things and not get too wrapped up in following what someone writes on a blog article and take that for gospel. Just try it. Don't go crazy with it, and see how your animals react. If they have a bad response, then maybe don't feed them that stuff anymore.
yeah, makes sense. Jen,
Yes.
you've had some big news in the last couple weeks.
Oh, which thing?
The thing you launched.
Oh yeah, so I started seeing clients from the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got a side hustle going on.
Yeah,
Nice.
I had a lot of things. I got a promotion too at my
Yeah.
regular job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I noticed that you have a sale on massage for
I do,
March.
for March. Yeah, $50. Let me put some spring in your step.
You have to reserve your spot though. You can't just
Yeah.
drop in. Goats eat weeds, sheep eat grass. What do lambs eat? Llamas eat.
What do llamas eat?
Llamas eat.
I don't know.
They don't eat; they spit.
Is this a joke? Because it sounds like the lead up to a joke.
They spit and they wear pajamas. Apparently.
Lisa Davis says wild cherry is toxic to ruminants when it's wilting.
All right.
Lisa would know. How many goats do you have, Lisa?
50 bazillion.
50 bazillion. How many muscovies do you have, Lisa? I'm pretty sure we want to get some muscovies from you. Have you talked to Lisa about that yet? Nope. Tactical wants to talk to you about some muscovies.
She
if you have
has
some.
some of the most beautiful gray Muscovies I've ever seen.
We're going to add some here if she will sell them to us, which I think she will. She has 21 pregnant goats, which means she's about to have
Whoa.
100 goats.
I want 4, including a Drake.
She's got 80 muscovies. Do you want more than 4?
We decided on 4 as per your conversation with me.
Maybe she has 80. She's
Get 7.
oh, she said
Muscovies.
she'll get about 80 goat. She has geese.
I want some
Guys,
of
Lisa
those.
Davis, just saying, she's a source. She's a wealth of animal productivity.
And she has beautiful.
And she does a good
Nigerian
job
dwarfs.
with them. Yes. Are those the ducks I saw you bring through here last year?
The Muscovies.
The Muscovies, yeah. Muscovies, however you say that. 9 doelings from last year as well. How was the knitting class? Emma wants to know how the knitting class was. Mama Sauce, how was knitting?
I think it went okay. There are 7 new knitters in the world. Each of them, if she wanted to, took home a project and some needles, took some yarn and needles and a started project. And I'm hoping to get emails that say, I finished that part now. What do I do next? And a challenge. We'll have it at the next one in June. There wasn't a single guy. I mean, what is it? Are girls supposed to knit and guys supposed to use shovels or what?
I don't know how they darn their socks if they get a hole in their heel. They don't know how to knit.
Yeah.
They don't. They damn their socks and throw them in
It's
the trash.
okay. So what we need to do is get Leos out because he knits,
He does.
and then he can like make men feel like it's okay to knit
because he's big.
because he's big and male. I know I was at the booth when you weren't there, and there was a lady there with with yarn and knitting needles. She said I could take this, but I don't know if she meant the needles. And I said, I think she does, but you should ask her. You did, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I brought the needles and the yarn, and people chose what they wanted and what project they wanted to make. They sort of chose, and I kind of helped them choose. And then, wow, what progress some of these women made.
Yeah. So sometimes when you put energy out in the universe, things just happen.
Okay.
What happened with the knitting demo that the universe took care of the weekend before Self-Reliance Festival?
She's letting me tell my story.
That's pretty cool.
Wait, should I go get one of the towers?
There was a Facebook ad. It said, estate sale, yarn, 50 cents a ball or whatever. And I went out there and they had a pickup load-ish, if you packed it up to the top of the roof of the pickup of yarn. So I bought about half a pickup load and brought it back, and I got the good stuff. And I've got a ton of yarn and some old antique projects. The lady who died and whose yarn I was privileged enough to buy was an excellent lifelong needle worker in many disciplines. And I think there's enough yarn for projects for 10 or 15 years to come,
Yeah.
even if I share copiously, which
Hey.
I'm willing to do.
Em said she almost told you that Malachi knits, but she didn't want to embarrass him at Self-Reliance Festival. And Patrick knits too.
I
have a whole
Malachi
video
being-
series of Patrick learning how
That's
to knit.
right.
Yeah, that Glenn made. So
But Malachi didn't admit to knitting unless I've forgotten when we were
no,
talking.
he didn't. He didn't. Malachi's Patrick's son. So anything else you got out of Self-Reliance Fest?
I don't know. It's fun. Met a lot of people, that's always good. Like networking is awesome. And then the thing I like about talking with people though is they kind of challenge your perspective. Like not everybody has the same way to do things, and so I think that's always fun to do. Like no
Mhm.
matter what you're actually showing up for. So
Will you go to another one?
absolutely,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try for June. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how are you going to go to another one?
Yep,
You're going to try to not be parking cars the whole time?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
I'll get back to you and let you know how it works out.
well, he's really good at being a parking Nazi.
Yep, he's learned from the best.
Yes, yeah. Oh, we have a
I'm
second.
knocking
That's okay.
stuff over.
That's my shoe rack back there. It's okay. Tactical, you're going to go to another one?
Do I have a choice?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Freedom Media Corp says mushrooms grow in my box elders. Yep. Mushrooms will grow on box elder wood. That is also true. Any other questions, guys, before we sign off and flow into our evening of cleaning up taco dishes? We had tacos tonight with grass-fed beef. Was it good?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get any.
There's some. You can help yourself right over there.
No, I ate the big carnivore lunch.
Oh, so you're not hungry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's
Thank
tacos
you.
over there if you haven't
Okay.
found them yet. So awesome. The Mexican place in Waverly was excellent. Las Plazas. I went to the one in Camden and we had some good food.
El Vallarta.
Yeah.
I
It was
brought
good.
some home and had it for breakfast.
Yeah.
Also. But it
Mom's
was
eating
lovely.
nothing but Mexican food today. That is what it is. Yep, Sugar Creek, you'll have to catch the replay, but hit that like so that we have lots of likes and it bumps up in the algorithms, all of that. So great to see you guys. Make it a great week. Go do some good stuff. Nick, say your line.
Do good things.